And thank you, Professor Heckman, and congratulations to all you graduates of 2023. My father always told me, you learn more after school than you do in school. And like the ancient Greeks, they'd go around in the marketplace in the agora, and they sign up for a class. Socrates, Plato, you had your choice, and you learned from these people. The same thing applied to him. He was a devoted economist all his life. There was a lot to be learned, but never from academia, it seems. You learn from experience. I never learned anything in school. I never learned anything except until I was about 30 years old, and then I started to learn, because experience beats you up, wounds you, hurts you, you get, and eventually you learn. It's kind of like a beating down process. Now, that's not true about technical skill or scientific skill. I think you have to pick that up early, so that's why we have medical and scientific inquiry going on at an earlier age. But I'm talking about the other sciences where, about life, you don't learn anything in school. You can't. You're exposed to too many wise asses, too much criticism, too many people are knocking you down. And I feel like, for me, it was a lost experience. I tried twice. I went to Yale University in America, and I left twice. So I was a bum up until I was about 30. And I went back to NYU Film School, which is a technical school, a vocational school, and I learned skills as a filmmaker, but not as my history, all the things, English, improved after 30. And I learned more and more and more from people who were actually in the field as I got older. I'm still learning. I'm still learning a hell of a lot. In fact, my latest documentary on nuclear energy is all about learning, a tremendous amount. I was very lucky to learn this. The problem with school is that, as you can see from the present structure of the Western world, we get locked into this idiom where the West is the best. Harvard, Yale, Princeton, all that nonsense, it seeps into their heads. And what do you get out of it? You get a whole class of graduates who are going to the Atlantic Council, the Council of Foreign Relations, and they're all stamped out of the same material. They all think the same way. They think inside the bubble of the West. They don't see, they don't understand, they don't empathize with other cultures of the South and the East. And as a result, we've locked ourselves off in this present day and era in a horrible way. I've been shocked to see the increasing rigidity of thought in the West, the censorship of other ideas, the lockdown to war, constantly. And this is, of course, coming from the giant hegemon, the United States of America, which is telling you it's good for EU, it's good for Europe, it's good for Spain, it's good for all these countries to put more and more weapons in your countries, and this is NATO telling you this, and the EU and all these, they're all the same. They all went to the same college, and they all come from the same place. As a result, we don't get any change. We don't get what we really want, which is peace. The people want peace. They want to break from all this ideology, this pushing of the Western world on under other people. It won't work. It's backfiring already. You sense it. So all your education is going to be shit unless you get with it. And I see a lot of graduates here from the South, from other countries. That's good, but you got to change. We got to change. It's not working. All those people around the Biden administration, they all went to Harvard, they all went to Georgetown. They learned the same thing. Russia bad, China bad, US good. And there's no nuance, there's no gray. And as a result, the world's locking into a split world. The United States has achieved its goal, which is you're with us or you're against us. If you remember correctly, go back to the beginning of the war on terror. George Bush, the idiot son of another president, said, you're either with us or against us. That was the same threat that they're putting out right now. They're saying you're either with us on Ukraine or you're not. And that's not true. I mean, you guys have to go out and find out for yourselves, but don't believe the bullshit. That's all you're going to get. I did. I went out and I learned for myself. I went to see the enemy, the so-called enemy. I've been all over the world, except for maybe a few countries. And I can tell you the world is a place that can work together. It's harmonious. It works. And the same thing is true about energy. The greatest energy we ever found in the human experience is nuclear energy, which was found in 1895 by a woman called Marie Curie. It was developed, and it became a vital energy, one of the most powerful energies in the world, 1,000,000 times stronger than coal and gas, oil. And in the European Union, you still don't put it on the menu. That's what's shocking to me. You don't really have, some countries are doing it, but many countries in Europe have closed their minds to it because of Germany's example. Well, Germany, once again, is leading itself astray, and its economy is going to suffer. The truth is that nuclear energy, when used properly with the safeguards it has, and we've been using it for 70 years, works, and it works beautifully well. And it's the most valid form of energy that we have because it can cover all capacity. It goes night and day, 24/7. We love solar, we love wind, we love hydropower, not biomass, but we love these other energies, but they don't work all the time. They're not reliable. As a result, you need backup. And this is the big fallacy about this new policy that the EU has. They need backup, and the backup is gas. And gas, oh, that sounds great. Yeah, but what is gas? Think about it. It's methane. Methane leaks all along the line. If you don't see it, so that's the problem is people don't see it. They turn their gas stove on, there's a little click, 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 and the ring goes around. That's escaped methane. Everywhere it's leaking. As a result, the gas companies and the oil companies, they're kind of independent, their own, there's a mixture of ownership here. But basically they're saying we are the perfect partners for renewables. Why? Why are they the perfect partners? Because the moment the renewables don't work, which is often like 75% of the time or sometimes less, depends what country, if you're in a sunny country or in a wind country. But basically when they don't work, you go to gas. That's why they like it, and they advertise it. It's a fallacy. More fossil fuels are going out there in the universe. Fossil fuels are the poison that's killing this world, and we have to stop it. That's the most urgent thing we can do as a generation. You guys can work on that. Don't go to work for some gas company and kid yourself that you're doing good. I think one of you said that. Change your occupation. Work for, if you can get the job, work for nuclear causes, because that is the smart way to solve this problem and solve it in the 30 years that we've been given by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Control, 2020 to 2050. My new film, Nuclear Now, which is available to see Monday, I hope some of you will come back to see it. I will explain to you the whole situation, and you'll see how important this is. Without clean energy, this world is going to get worse and worse and worse. More waste, more poison in the air. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be worse, and more wars, more attrition, and here we are fighting with each other. It's the most ridiculous thing. This is a time when the Russians and the Chinese have the most nuclear energy in the world. They're doing the best work, the most experimental. The United States has drifted way back, doesn't spend big money on it anymore. We don't have any government agency that really pushes it like the Chinese and the Russians do. And they're succeeding. They have a formula for the future, but we don't talk to them. Russia can teach us, the United States, a lot about energy. They've been doing it. They've been doing a great job on it. Great job on science, great job on medicine. In every regard, we should be allies, not enemies. It is so silly what we're fighting about. Well, we're not going to go into the causes of that conflict, but basically, that's what I want to tell you. Look behind this. Look behind all the bullshit, the talk. Look underneath. Look at the causes. Follow the money. Be realistic. And look at the greed in the world, the greed of the fossil fuel companies. Understand it. You're up against it. You're going into that world. It's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher. And some of you will do better than others, and you'll be happy, but all you are is climbing up a mountain where it's a Darwinian mountain and nobody wins. So good luck, good fortune, sailing.